Hi there, my name is Jennifer King. I'm a registered social worker and I want to welcome you to this series called Preparing for Counselling. These are things that we want to share with you so that you can have the best experience in counselling that is possible. And today's video is number 3 in the series, and we are going to talk about the top 5 challenges that you may encounter while you're in counselling. These are some things that sometimes catch people off guard, and they don't really expect these things, and sometimes it even ends counseling before people are really ready to do that. So I hope that by sharing these things, I can let you know about them ahead of time so that if you encounter any of these things when you're meeting with someone, that you can talk to your counselor about them and just get some feedback and just to, work as a team like we talked about in the last video. So the very first thing that you might encounter is feeling uncomfortable with feelings and silence. Sometimes we really work at starting to feel our feelings, starting to notice them, starting to understand them, and sometimes we do that with silence, and that can be really uncomfortable at first. And so if you're finding that it's too much or that it's something that you really don't want to work on, let your counselor know and just see what they say about it and let them know that you're having a hard time with that. The second one is that not everybody is going to be your cheerleader. We find that when people come in for counseling, they can have a variety of responses from their friends and family. And sometimes the people who don't understand or who don't think that they need counseling are kind of concerned that if you change during the counseling sessions, that they're not maybe going to have the same place in your life anymore. And so you'll find that some people really don't want you to be going for counseling, even if it's not about them, even if they're not the reason that you're going. It's interesting, but just know that not everybody's going to be a cheerleader. And as you make changes towards healthy growth and healthy changes in your life, that may persist. And so let your counselor know about those things too. The third one is that working on one thing might lead to another. So coming in for counseling at the beginning may have a very specific focus and purpose, but as we kind of uncover some of the things that are happening there, it may lead us to a place that you weren't prepared to go. And sometimes that can be really scary, or sometimes it can be really unnerving. So if I'm working with parents and we start looking at how they were parented and some of the feelings and thoughts around that, it gets kind of uncomfortable, and people don't necessarily want to go down there. They just want to know how to fix their child right now, right here, right now. And while that can be okay, sometimes we really could help if we go down the other path and just explore that for a little bit and creates an integrated mind, right, around memories and experiences, so that doesn't kind of bombard you as you're working on the new stuff, right, and creating new patterns. Now, do we have to go into all of those things? Not necessarily. So please let us know if something is just not working for you or too uncomfortable, because we don't know unless you tell us. The fourth one is putting into practice what you learned in session. This can be a really big challenge at first, because everyone around you is going to be doing the same things that they normally do. And as you're learning how to behave in a different way, or as you're learning about how the mind works, you're going to start putting that into practice, and that can be uncomfortable to people around you. And so even just remembering to do it throughout the week and to put those things into practice, it can be a challenge at first. So just know that that's there. The fifth one is that you are going to likely form some type of relationship with your counselor. I mean, you're sharing a lot of personal information with them. And all counselors should be registered and have a code of ethics that they follow, and certain things around confidentiality, but also forming relationships and things like that. And so if you find that, sometimes there's, people are working as a team and it's going really good, and you think, oh, friends, right? And that's not really the type of relationship that should be forming here. We want you to have been working on really good supports outside of counseling. We want you to fire us at some point because you are healthy and you have done the work and you've come to a point where you don't need us anymore. And so ultimately our goal is that you fire us for those reasons, and that you have a really good, secure network around you. And that can be hard, kind of letting go of that relationship. Sometimes it happens really abruptly. Maybe there's just not another appointment booked, or you miss an appointment and you just never reschedule. And so sometimes resolving that can be difficult too. If you're finding that you're nervous about any of those things, about ending that relationship or about what to do as it's coming to an end, please talk to your counselor. Again, I just want to encourage you that these are things that are normal, and that the more you can just discuss that and be open with your counselor about that, the better that you guys are going to work as a team and come up with strategies around that. Thanks for joining me for this series, and I have one more that I'm going to be presenting about the work that I do and moving into doing work in people's homes and some other things. So please join me again, and take care.